Okay, so the latest Liverpool transfer news. We're going to have a look at DeLigt and an update on that potential deal. And also, Liverpool have been linked to a striker, Moussa Marega, Portuguese striker. And, you know, we've had a good look into his past and looked at who he is, where's he from, how good he is, as we usually do. And we'll give you a full breakdown on him. And he's got quite an interesting past, actually. He's 28 now, so it's quite interesting to look back at him. But first, the DeLigt deal. Now, I think we're all getting a bit fed up of the DeLigt deal, and you know, he's now been linked to PSG as it's come out as they look favourites to sign him, and they've offered him a plan of how he'll fit in the team, and obviously sold him a story that he's going to be the lead central defender. He's going to be the leader at the back. They've also offered him terrific money, apparently. Now, my view with Liverpool on DeLigt is they don't really need another central defender. Yes, it would be nice to have somebody of DeLigt's stature, 19-year-old up-and-coming centre-back, Netherlands international, and no doubt he's a talented lad. But do Liverpool really need somebody that is being hawked around the market to try and squeeze every last penny out of a deal? To me, it stinks of his agent Riola basically creating news story after news story after news story with a view to getting the club that he does actually want up on their offer, contract offer. Now, I don't think Liverpool are heading the race on this one. I think Barcelona are still heading the race in terms of where the player wants to go. If he wants to come to Liverpool and he comes for sensible money, then I would think it would be good business for Liverpool. But I certainly don't feel there's any need for Liverpool to go into the market and absolutely break all records when they've got adequate people in that position at the moment. I mean, Van Dijk is without doubt probably the one of the top three central defenders in the world, and you've got Gomez and others that are alongside. So I don't think it's necessarily needed at the moment. But there's a latest update, still being linked to him, Liverpool, but I can't see that one happening. So on to a new striker, and that's Moussa Marega. He's been linked to Liverpool, and a lot of people probably asking why are Liverpool looking at another striker when they've got Salah, Firmino and Mane. Now, their ages of those three, I actually didn't know the ages of the three of them, but Salah's 26, Firmino's 27 and Mane's 27. So you've got three, absolute goal-scoring machines there, three great strikers, age 26, 27. So Liverpool have got, a great future ahead for the next few years with those three. However, the English season is a long season in the Premier League when you're no doubt going to be challenging for 4 trophies. And there's every thought that Liverpool could grab all 4 next year. Man City are thinking the same, but that's a lot of games. You're talking late 50s, potentially 60 games in a season. So Liverpool are obviously looking at another striker to bring in, somebody who can relieve the pressure on those 3, perhaps come into some games when things aren't quite working for them. And this lad, Moussa Marega, has got quite an interesting past. I mean, he's 28. He's a striker with FC Porto in the Portuguese league. He's French-born, and he's a Malayan international. Now, he's really was off the radar until about the age of 24. He knocked about the lower French leagues, the sort of Division 2, Division 3 French leagues. He even played or went to sign for a Tunisian club. And there's really nothing there that you can find on him, and no real footage really to have a look at him. There's even one season where he signed, I think it was for the Tunisian side, didn't play all season, and all I can find out that it was due to bureaucratic reasons. So whether that was visas, permits, etc., I don't know. So you can look at him a bit like Jamie Vardy really in England. Jamie Vardy really was the same, didn't really break onto the scene till he was 25, 26. He knocked about the lower leagues non-league leagues in England, and even his first season in Leicester really didn't amount to much. And then he's become a bit of a goal scoring machine for Leicester. Now this guy's a totally different style of player to Vardy, so I'm not comparing him to Vardy in terms of how he plays, but really up until the age of 24. He then signed for a club called Maritimo, and he had a fairly decent first season, and we'll have a look at his stats shortly. Now, after that first season, Porto signed him, and they put him out on loan to a team called Vitoria SC. Now, there was talk of him having confidence problems back then, and there's not too much you can find out about it, but he was lacking in confidence, and they've loaned him out, and he had a pretty decent loan season with SC, and again, we'll look at his stats in a minute. He then came back to Porto for the 17-18 season, and that's really where he came alive. So he'd have been sort of 26, 27 at that point. Had a terrific season. He was the top scorer in the Portuguese league. Porto won the league. He helped them win the league that year. And I don't think they'd won the league for about 4 years. And sort of things started to really come alive for him. Now, in the 18-19 season last year, again at Porto, another terrific season, great stats. He played in the Champions League for Porto, which I quite like, because the Portuguese is not the best league out there. It's not the highest quality league. So somebody who's banging in 20 goals a season in Portugal, you know, to make that jump up to the Premiership, I look on it a bit like moving from the Championship to the Premiership. You know, and when you look at teams that get promoted and strikers that come up from the Championship, they can really struggle in the Premiership. So I look on it a bit like that. However, he has played in the Champions League, so he's played against top European competition, and he scored 6 goals in 6 games last year for Porto. So he's proved it at a higher level than the Portuguese league. So I quite like the look of what he's done. He's a late developer, and we'll have a look at how he plays and you know, his physicality, etc. But we'll have a look at his stats first. So when he was at Maritimo in the 15-16 season, 31 appearances, 8 goals, 5 assists. So, you know, that was his first season really where he started to show any promise, age 24. 16-17 season, he'd have been 25, 31 appearances. This is when he was loaned out to Vitoria SC. 31 appearances, 14 goals, 8 assists. So developed on from that first season. Back to Porto, and this is where they won the league. 40 appearances, 23 goals, 8 assists. And then in the 18-19 season, where Porto were in the Champions League, 47 appearances, 21 goals, 11 assists. And like I say, 6 goals in the Champions League. Also three assists in those 6 games. So now looking at him, there's a couple of bits that spring to mind. One, he's a late developer. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of players that have played at the top level that really haven't come to the fore until they're 25, 26, 27. You know, if you look back at Mo Salah when he was sort of 21, 22, there was nothing really to write home about there. When you look back at his footage, he's a powerfully built fella. And when you look back at his footage from 3 years ago, he does look like he was carrying a little bit of weight, a little bit of excessive weight. Now, maybe being a bit unfair to him there, but when you compare him to maybe last year and the year before, he did look a bit leaner. And, you know, not one to talk, but I would say, you know, if Liverpool were to sign him, that's something they could work on, is maybe his fitness, because he does look a little bit too big and powerful for me, but nevertheless he has proved it over the last 2 seasons. There is that issue 2 or 3 years back about a confidence issue, but you know, he looks to have overcome that. I think he's certainly one that Liverpool well, they're certainly linked to him, and I think there's certainly somebody that they're looking at. There's not many players that have scored over 20 goals in Europe, played in the Champions League, and they do need that cover really for the 3 main strikers. The price that he potentially could could go for is in the 20-30 million region, although I don't think Porto will want to lose him for that sort of money. But you know, I'm no doubt the Liverpool backroom staff, the laptop boys, will have had a good look at him as a player, and we'll see if that one progresses. Let me know in the comments what you think of the DeLigt deal. I personally don't think it's going to happen. Would you want him? Would the Liverpool fans want him at Liverpool? And let me know what you think of Moussa Marega, and is he sort of somebody you'd want at Liverpool? Is he worth a risk, basically? And that. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe to the channel below. We'll keep you updated with all the latest transfer news and the news out there. Thanks for watching.